Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to theeradillo FC. I am your host, theeradillo, and the ugliest Manchester United fan in the world. Welcome to the chat. We're gonna move over to that. We're gonna talk about usually when we get to this part, I'll be pulling stuff out of my butt and talk about it. We got the table on the screen, and if you're listening again, we do this on the YouTube so you can see us visually. We got the table. We got Tottenham at first with 24 points. Liverpool 24 points a second. Chelsea in third with 22. Leicester with 21 points in fourth. Southampton in fifth with 20. And right in sixth is us with 19. And actually, our upcoming opponent, Manchester City, is in seventh with 18. Kind of a recovery. We're kind of starting to actually see what the table is going to look like. I know a couple of weeks ago, people were saying like, "Oh, look, United's down in 15th, and look, this is the time where we actually see what the table is going to look like at the end of the year." It's like, no, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The first 2 weeks didn't even really count for United or City, honestly, and they've been trying to figure things out for them. As you can look at their form, win, loss, draw, win. Us is 4 wins, so they're starting to pick up form. We are in pretty good form at the moment. It is a home game though. We play like dog poo poo at home this year so far. Like, just the worst dog poo poo you could see on the side of the road. That's us at home. And then looking at the bottom of the table, I think everyone's little prediction of last year's 20th is starting to happen. Like, oh, you guys just got to do it this year. I think there was a lot of people probably that were super optimistic about Sheffield staying up again this year. I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully, they can figure it out. I like Sheffield up here in the Premier League, but it might not be their day. And obviously West Brom is joining them. They're probably going to go back down alongside. Wait, who's the other team that came up? Fulham. Yeah, my 3 I was going to pick this year were definitely Fulham and West Brom. I thought Sheffield United would have been 17th and Burnley would have been higher. I thought Brighton would have been that team. But Potter's actually playing some decent football. It doesn't really work out because he doesn't really have the quality, kind of like Norwich with Hulk. But hopefully they stay up because I like to see these smaller clubs up here. Gives us some new blood. I like the old blood as well with Sheffield and Leeds. And good old Arsenal in 15th there. They out of all this negativity and stuff, I guess I don't want to call that a positive because like Arsenal are 15th. They look like the dog poo poo that we are at home this year. Can't even score goals, which is crazy. I think I saw a stat where they, out of all the bottom teams, including like you're seeing Sheffield right there at the bottom in 20th, out of all the bottom teams, they are either tied or below the amount of shots per game, I believe, of all those teams, or average. And that's pretty bad. That was like La Liga, Liga, Serie A, and the Bundesliga, and the Premier League, which is a crazy stat. I think I saw Statman Dave say that. Leeds, who dropped off, Beelzebub football, whatever you want to call that, not looking so good over there. I don't know who they're playing at the weekend, but they are not in a good. They're not in good form at all. I'll say they're decent form. No, they're not. 3 losses in the last 5. They need to get some points to move up that table because a lot of people had them up, finishing like near the Europa League spot. Like a lot of Leeds fans were really optimistic this year, but that's not gonna happen probably. Newcastle, who are doing pretty good. The Geordies over there, Steve Bruce doing a decent job. Uh, that's all I could say for them. Looks like Callum Wilson was a very good purchase for them. Aston Villa in 12th, they've dropped off from their top 4 kind of position that they were occupying in the beginning of the year. But like I said, this is what the Premier League table is probably going to look like. I would say Arsenal's probably going to finish a lot higher than 15th, though. I don't see them being down to 15th for very long. I know a lot of Gunner fans are starting to do like we have the Ollie out brigade. I don't know what you would call the Arteta out brigade, but it's probably something pretty dope sounding in Spanish where it's like Arteta something. Palace with Hodgson, they're a little underrated. Okay, I actually enjoy watching Crystal Palace sometimes, and that's weird to say because I like Wilfred Zaha. I like who did they pick up? Ezzy. He's always like a FIFA and Football Manager guy. I always like buying. So it's very weird to and kind of good to see them because every time I put it on a random Premier League game, say I watched the United game, it was at, for me, I'm on the West Coast in California. Let's say it's at like 8 o'clock, and then like for some reason 12 o'clock game is Crystal Palace. I'll just watch it, and I've been like I want to say I'll consistently watch them. I haven't been watching as much as I have been in years past of outside games of United, but for some reason it's always randomly like Crystal Palace and Burnley, and it's kind of heartbreaking to watch Sean Dyche sides down here. But I think they'll figure a way to get out. You know, I don't. When they went down when they came up and then went back down, that was very like. I've never seen so much passion in a side or of fans. I remember when they went down, there was a couple Burnley fans that were just like yelling like "Come on," and like, but they were crying at the same time. So I enjoy having clubs like this up in the Premier League, even though their football might be boring to you. In years past, I've liked their football because it's just like very interesting to just look at and watch and see how it works versus top sides and when it works against other lower table sides. But it's not happening for them this year. And maybe Dwight McNeil might be a possibility in the future for us because he might drop. Wolves in 10th. They're looking all right. They will probably finish around the 5, 6, 7, 8 area, I'm guessing. They've added more pieces to their puzzle that they're still trying to figure out. It's basically like a weird like Portuguese side. Basically, they should just be Portugal in 10th instead of Wolves. Everton in 9th. I don't know what happened to Ancelotti and James and them. Seems like all that money spent is not working out. And actually, they need to finish in Europe, or they are going to be facing the law of FIFA, I guess, in the FA. West Ham in 6th. I know Southampton's up here in 5th, but to me, my computer's making noises because I have an update. I apologize. West Ham in 6th, I think, is like the biggest overachievement I've seen so far this year. Them in 6th right now, pretty impressive. I think they are playing good football under Moyes right now. They don't have the depth, I don't think, and the quality to really finish in this area. But if they can pull that off, I think that's a good thing for the Premier League because I think this West Ham is, has a lot of history, their academy and everything. It'd be good to have a good West Ham team this year, and I think it'd be good for the Premier League. City obviously in 7th. Can you shut up, please, over there? God. City in 7th. They're gonna be up in the top 4 for sure. I think we'll be up in the top 4. Southampton. I actually rate Hasenhüttl. I really enjoy him, his football all the way back at Leipzig. And I was actually I don't want to say I wasn't surprised because Southampton they're really cheeky in their coaching. Whoever figures out how to find their next guy. They are just really phenomenal at finding that next guy. I think it goes all the way for sure that I can remember. It was like Poch was like that first guy. Was like, okay, Southampton has a manager. Koeman was kind of all right, and then he went to Everton, and then I believe it was Phil Hughes. I think took him over, and that's when they started the dip. And then Hasenhüttl came in, and I know they had that whopping from Leicester, but ever since, like, they've been doing pretty well, or more than pretty well. So I'm very impressed with them. But I think they should finish in this top area, but they seems to just fall. They just get a run of games where they just keep falling. It's probably because of an injury. I like Danny Ings, so I think hopefully they finish in a top 8 area, because that'd be good for them. I know that's a club that always gets stripped apart every other year, and it's hard to see. You hate to see it, but it's just the way the game works. Fourth, we got Leicester. They're probably gonna, they're gonna implode the last 2 weeks, so they'll probably finish like 6th or 7th. Chelsea, they're in great form right now, and it's kind of scary to see. Yeah, I think they're more afraid of Tottenham like winning the league than us United fans worried about Chelsea winning the league. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about Chelsea. It seems like they're starting to gel. Lampard's starting to figure out the pieces to move around and everything. Moving Werner out wide makes sense. Liverpool in second. Seems like after that Aston Villa game, they just were like, "Oh, we're Liverpool," yeah, and then they lose like Virgil van Dijk and Thiago, and they're still fine. They're still okay. They're still floating in second. A lot of people were talking about they were comparing like how City lost Laporte, and then the year before that they had De Bruyne that got hurt, but they still won the league. Then they were like saying how valuable Laporte was. And then that conversation started to brew with Virgil van Dijk. Actually, even before that, I feel that if Virgil van Dijk goes out or gets hurt for a long period of time, that they're going to be toasted. But it seems like that front three doesn't care. And then plus Diego Jota in there as well. They seem totally fine. I think they'll be in it to win it. I don't like seeing it. I don't. Liverpool used to be a side where they used to like they would have to loan players out from like Chelsea a lot. You just saw it, and now they're a legit club. And Klopp has done really well, even with the pieces that he has and is missing. He's figuring it out. And then Spurs, who it'd be okay. I don't want to say I want to see Jose win, but it'd be nice to see a different side win. I like the diversity of Premier League winners. It shows that not that anyone can win it, but we are a truly competitive league. There's a lot more parity in our league than versus any other leagues, the top leagues, where there basically is one winner every year or one of two. So it's very and it shows the grit you need and the depth and kind of just luck as well to win our league. Need a little bit of luck. So that is the table as we went through. I didn't talk about Fulham at all. They're probably going down, so it doesn't really matter. We'll probably talk about them in a couple more years after they come back up. Yep. So that's been it. We got City at the weekend. Next week we got our City at home at Old Trafford, and then we go to Bramall Lane next weekend or next week midweek with Sheffield United, and then we got Leeds back home at the weekend of next. We haven't played Leeds in a while, so I'm kind of stoked. It's the first time for me, I think. I don't know when was the last time we played Leeds, and I don't remember the last time we played Leeds within the last decade. Might have been a cup game somewhere. But first time in a league in like 15 plus years, I believe. So it'll be very interesting because you always hear about Leeds and United in the 90s. So that's going to be a fun game to watch. I hope we beat the crap out of them. I hope Bielsa doesn't game plan properly and we win. And hopefully we start to continue, or hopefully we continue this great form, our league form. We need to start getting 3 points at home. I'm a bit nervous. We'll talk about it in the preview in a couple of days. Thank you guys for listening, and welcome to the chat. This is the first of many chats that we're going to have. Let us know about the table, big and little things you've noticed as well. Sides that you guys have been watching outside of United. And yeah, I've been theeradillo. Thank you for joining us on Radillo FC. Like I said, I am the ugliest Manchester United fan in the world. No doubt about that. Well, see you guys later. Cheers.